Starting the event. We are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another podcast. We're just gonna call this one the NDP, I guess. The NDP number 2 Nintendo Direct podcast. I got some people with me, man. I got the homie Lilwillthediety. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? I'm feeling good tonight, man.
All right. Making his debut into the gaming community, I guess you could say. What do we call you, Lieutenant Surge?
Yeah.
Lieutenant Surge Gaming, what's going on?
Not much, man.
Awesome. And then, last but not least, a new friend of mine. I met y'all last week? You and Will last week.
Yeah.
My boy Andy at Entertainment Gaming Daily. What's going on, man?
Yo, what it do, cut? No, just kidding. How's it going, guys?
Oh man, it's going. So we got a lot of big news, man. A lot of big news going on. Man. We started E3. Well, I mean, could you say we started E3 on Saturday with that EA that EA
EA
conference?
Play? No.
Well, I mean, I do distinctly remember when they said EA was gonna be the first one and only one to go first, and I was like, that's not E3.
That's not E3.
So what y'all think about that?
I mean,
Yeah, that was garbage.
He said he wasn't. Yeah, that was garbage.
I mean, okay, to give it a high note, the Star Wars stuff was cool, and what's that game? I always forget the name. Unravel, because I love Unravel.
I did like Unravel. I did like Unravel. I gotta give you that. you that.
So and that's it.
That's it.
Just those three.
Two. What's going? So we got the man Nuts in here. We got the man Ed in here. What's going on, guys? Go ahead.
I mean, honestly, like, what was the point in re-showing what they already showed before with the Battlefield 5? I mean, there was no extra hype there.
There was no extra hype. They went a little more in depth into it. They revealed Royale, whatever that is. You know, we all know it's gonna be a battle royale.
Everybody's doing Royale.
That. What I hope is, I hope with that Royale they do what Fortnite does. Instead of teams of 4, every man for himself, it's 2 teams of 64, and you got to build in the middle. Because they were showing sort of like, I guess you could see, I guess you could say build aspects. They kind of didn't really show too much about it, but. Like, I would love for it to be like that versus just the 4-man squad or going in single. I would love for it to be a big team battle royale that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't know. But other than that, I mean, we got to see FIFA. Okay. Me and Lieutenant Surge, we're excited about Madden because we're in a Madden league. But other than that, like Anthem, okay. But you know, it was just one of those things where EA kind of just played it safe and it wasn't too exciting, you know, like they just kind of just came out and said, here's what we're doing. Here's a little bit of games. We know everybody's waiting for Anthem, so we're going to show Anthem at the end. And that's pretty much what they did. Other than that, I mean, that's it. I was excited for Anthem, but we got to see a little bit. They didn't go too much in depth. We got to see the 4 classes. I'm a big BioWare fan, so that was something I was looking forward to. But other than that, EA kind of just dropped the ball a little bit.
Anthem still looks too overambitious, and I'm sure that's not going to be the game we get whenever it comes out.
It's probably going to have that Ubisoft effect.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's definitely gonna have the Ubisoft effect. It's gonna be a semi-okay game when it first launches, but after 6 months to a year, they're gonna send out that big patch, and it's gonna become a much better game. A game that everybody wants to play.
Yeah,
I think you're probably right on that one. Here's the deal. I mean, I don't mean to skip ahead, but after seeing Bethesda's conference, like I got way less excited for Anthem and more excited for what they revealed. Like I'm not gonna lie, what Bethesda revealed, we'll get to that later, kind of bodied Anthem. I can't lie about it. They bodied Anthem.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, everything bodied EA's conference as a whole. Like even that game Tunic, which is kind of a little bit further off, I know we're going to talk about, like even a game like that isn't even close to anything EA would even release next to, no, I guess it's pretty close to, regardless, a game that small, is guess what I'm trying to say? Right. A game that small still was more appealing than anything EA had to show off because the track record they had, and then the fact that some of their projects seem too over ambitious, and that's why we don't hear anything about them. And then they We'll set a date, and I can guarantee you that Anthem will not be out on that date.
Yeah,
you don't think it'll be out in February?
No.
I don't think so either. But I mean, yeah, everyone who knows EA knows they're big in sports. Okay, cool, another sports game. Yeah, I'm happy for Madden. I'm kind of happy for the new FIFA because it looked pretty nice. But other than that, Battlefield 5 does not have my attention.
No,
it doesn't have my attention.
I have to agree with you on that one.
And I mean,
It's like a show.
Like you said with Anthem looked good. It looked like it would be great if that's what you're going to get from the start.
Yep.
But like everyone just said, there are other games that happen today.
Yes.
That look 10 times better.
Yes.
And look like they're going to be great starting out.
Right. Speaking of, I guess I'm trying to segue into the next topic because I don't want to spend too much time on the EA. We know that they kind of just screwed that one up. So moving on to the Xbox press conference. Now, me personally, we've already talked about this, and we're gonna open that can of worms back up again. Me personally, I thought the conference was great. They didn't spend a whole lot of time talking about numbers, and I mean, why would they? How could they? Because I mean, let's be honest, they didn't really have a great year of success so far. But they didn't really talk numbers. They revealed, what was it, 50 games, and 18 of them were quote unquote console exclusives or world premiere. I can't remember how Phil worded it. I can't remember, but either way, a bunch of them were either world premieres or console exclusives. And then they showcase 50 games, and I mean, it was just back to back to back to back to back games.
What they did was the 18 that you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That was console exclusive and Xbox exclusive.
Right.
The other 30 something were all world exclusive.
Yeah, and the console exclusive was more like console launch exclusive than anything.
Yeah.
It's not something that's only on
console
the
launch.
system.
That's what it. That's
Yeah,
right.
So, which means it isn't really there. So, 5 of the games out of the 18 were ones that are only for Xbox, and that was it.
I'm happy they got Nier Automata. Like, I think all systems.
I mean, yeah,
and we all know those Xbox exclusives are going to be Xbox and PC exclusives.
Right,
Well,
Windows
yeah,
10. I mean, they already said Forza was going to be. What was, I can't remember what the other one was, but I know my buddy, he didn't want to get an Xbox. He has a PC, and he was excited for that. He was like, "Oh man, it's Xbox, it's Windows 10. Okay, cool. We're all good. We're good. We're great. I ain't got to worry about it." But like I was saying, I feel like Xbox, they did well. They did really well. I know, Andy, you were coming back at me saying they didn't really show anything for the now, and anything that they showed were all multi-plats. They weren't exclusives. But to me, I feel like the fact that they got all those games on their conference to show, they got the Kingdom Hearts. What else did they get? I mean, I didn't expect them to show Kingdom Hearts. I expect that to be a Sony thing. For them to get the games that they showed, Kingdom Hearts, Tales of Vesperia, all the Japanese games that they got to show, Devil May Cry. Thank you. Like to me, I felt like that was a big deal. Now I know it wasn't going to be a big deal to a lot of the people because they'll say those are multi-plats. But as far as the perspective of Xbox for that conference, I feel like they needed to do that. Now, you said something interesting before. You said that what was it you said exactly? You felt like the people who were already doubting Xbox looked at the conference and said, "Oh," and just looked at the list of games and said, "Oh, here are the 5 games they're coming out with. I don't need to watch it." Elaborate on that one.
Because they're all multi-plat. Okay, so let's look at it this way. The scenario basically is, man, guys, we feel very sorry for Microsoft. What should we do? It's like, well, we're all having our own conferences, but I guess we can let them reveal our game first and just give them a little trailer so they can, get interested, and then advertise for the conference we're going to do, and we're going to show them more. It's basically how that looked. It's like giving your little brother something to help him out because he sucks at it. And that's what that kind of looked like. Because it's like, Ubisoft played a lot of cards. Well, they kind of have their own conference.
Right.
Bethesda played some cards. They have their own conference. And
True.
So on and so forth. So it's like, it doesn't really matter that Microsoft showed it off, because at the end of the day, when we look at the conferences for the people that let them borrow the games, they're going to show us more gameplay. They're going to show us gameplay.
Right, kind of like what Bethesda did.
Yeah, and so... And yeah, what Bethesda did, because they actually gave us you know, more in-depth look at Fallout. A beautiful in-depth look at Fallout. Like, I'm
Yes.
actually gonna buy that.
Yes.
I'm normally not even someone that likes Fallout. Like, I literally get Fallout just to mod it to play as Tony Stark or Jedi or something. But this time I'm actually gonna buy it on console and play it. But yeah, that's what seems like is the things. Like, it is cool we got to see that stuff with them first, but then all they did was make their show look bigger than it really was, because we're gonna re-see those games again. Because I even commented on the Bethesda when on your stream when
right.
they showed Fallout, and I was like, we already saw this trailer. Why are they showing it again?
Right. And then they actually showed gameplay later.
More. Yeah, so luckily they showed more, but we didn't need to see that trailer again.
All right, go ahead, Demon.
The thing is, though, like with Bethesda and Ubisoft, those weren't really like borrowed things. They have signed contracts to Xbox, making those games pretty exclusive to the Xbox, because the Xbox is gonna be allowed to bring that out day one on their Xbox Game Pass.
What game?
Fallout 76 is already projected day one on Xbox Game Pass. What was it from Ubisoft?
Are you sure?
Yes. I watched the whole thing, and 76, because they talked about the fact that Fallout 4 was going to be on Game Pass as of today. Then they said that 76 will be day one.
I don't know. I have to go back and watch that, because if that's the case, that's huge. But I don't recall that, and I don't believe Bethesda would do that. But hey, I could have just missed that because of all the games they were showing, because they were showing games back to back to back.
Well, see,
I mean,
that's
they
why,
were moving
that's
the
why
show
I was
on
talking to you
and moving
before.
it forward.
I'm telling you, within the next year, the Xbox Game Pass will change their subscription style.
Before it turns into that type of, because I think Andy is about to come back with some heat.
Let him know.
Get my thoughts out real quick.
Okay.
But I'm actually really impressed that they got, like, because E3, that's kind of what it is. Like, who can get the most rights to show which games? So I do think Microsoft, this is probably one of their better E3s. But
I mean, yeah, I agree. Look, like I said, me and Andy are going to disagree on this. I thought they did a great job. I thought they did exactly what they needed to do. Like I said, they show all the games, but I mean, I see his point. Yeah, they show these games, but then we're going to just see them again in other conferences. I get that, but I feel like the focus for Microsoft in this one was just straight games, and I thought it was great. But I know Andy's about to hit us with some fire, so let's go.
Oh no, it's not a very big fire. It's actually rather it's like a match. No, I looked it up, and Fallout 76 isn't going to be on the Game Pass, and it was apparently lost in translation. They were using Fallout 4 as a way, because apparently you need to convince people. They were using Fallout 4 as a way to entice people to get excited for Fallout 76. So basically those casual gamers, because a lot of casual gamers got Game Pass. Not saying that other people didn't, because I have it. I think it's phenomenal, honestly. Like,
I do too.
Like, on a side note, Game Pass technically makes more money than it would be to just buy a game. If everybody bought the game for $60 versus spending money on a subscription base for Game Pass, they would be making more money with Game Pass than to have people go buy that game at the store, which is a really interesting ratio there. I love the way that works, but I hope like companies don't follow suit and ruin gaming even more than it already is. But they're kind of trying to use, for those people that didn't watch E3, that had no interest in it, if they're getting on their Game Pass and they see Fallout, they download it, they play it, that they'll get invested in wanting to get the new one that's coming out. So they're kind of using it as advertisement.
Well, that's the same thing with Ubisoft putting in Division on that same concept. They're putting Division on the Game Pass.
Well, they're not going to win anybody over with the first Division, because it came out as hot fire and it's still hot fire.
Yeah.
It's playable though. They made updates.
They made it very playable. I mean, I've recently re-downloaded Division and started playing it again. It actually is playable.
Yeah, I tried to enjoy it with my roommate.
It's not the garbage it was before.
Yeah, my roommate thinks it's still garbage, but she doesn't really count in anything. But like, we tried playing it. I was enjoying myself, and she was being murdered, so we couldn't enjoy it, and we stopped.
Man, but okay,
I will say Division 2 looks like
Division 2 does look dope.
Complete and utter beautifulness.
It did. It really did. It really did. I mean, let's be honest.
It looks like what the first one was supposed to be.
Right. All the games they showed look great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Every game that we saw today, minus the EA, but everything we saw today in both press conferences looked beautiful. They looked great. Moving forward, do you think that Xbox, the brand and everything, will be okay moving forward the next few years? They did announce the 5 studios that they purchased, Ninja Theory being one of them.
No, they're going to be fine.
Do you think that moving forward they'll be well, or do you think they'll drop the ball once again?
I'm going to assume they're doing fine. They just need to not be Big Brother over those studios, and everything will be fine. Because the thing is, they got studios that are incredibly creative, and if they decide to look over their shoulder and force them into doing things and say this is not what we want, and blah blah blah, then we'll have another Dragon. I forgot the name of the game now. The Dragon game.
Oh, Scalebound.
Thank you. We'll have another Scalebound and another Fable on our hands.
I'm gonna reiterate what I said in your chat during the original E3 Xbox release. I really feel like they put their foot down and said, "We're here. We're here. We're getting better."
Or we're back. Either way you look at it. My thing is, I'll pick back what you said, Andy, on they don't need to like just look over these studio shoulders and let them kind of do their thing. Because, I mean, remember, what didn't Xbox just they're always over the shoulder of Bungie, and when Bungie wanted to do the Destiny project, they told them no. Wasn't that the case? Like that why Bungie didn't re-up. So I mean, they could. I hopefully they don't end up in that situation. Because think about it. Destiny could have been exclusive to Xbox. How big could that have been?
That would have been great.
Had that have happened?
And they had to sign with fucking Activision.
And also, I'm glad they got these studios because I don't know the history of what happened with BioWare, but remember when them losing BioWare was also, I believe, a big hit that started the downfall of Xbox. Because after that point, they slowly just kept putting out Halos, and they didn't really have much, and they were depending on the multiplats. So moving forward with these studios, I hope that they can really, really, not be Big Brother, not look over these studio shoulders, and let them develop good games and let them have ambitious decisions.
That's based off of what you were saying, though. That happened also with Halo. When Bungie owned Halo, Microsoft was looking over their shoulder telling you, oh, well, we don't want this, we don't want that, we don't want this, we don't want that. And when Halo 3 came out and it was Bungie and 343 Studios, they were still so much over their shoulders trying to say, we want this, we don't want this. Bungie finally pulled out and said, okay, y'all can have it. And that's when Halo started making its gigantic downfall. Right.
So I think moving forward, I think with the new leadership that Xbox and Microsoft have, I think they're going to let these studios kind of do their thing and let them develop some of the games. I think Phil Spencer kind of understands what needs to be done, and I think he'll do it.
I really think he's seen the past mistakes, and he's really going to be moving forward with everything.
Right. Well, I guess that's enough for Xbox because, we can only talk so much about that conference. Moving on, I wasn't watching other streams because I was in the other stream. It's all good, RJ. So we're moving on to the Bethesda, and I feel like this conference was low-key awesome. Like of course, everybody's going to focus on Xbox because they're like the big one of the day. But Bethesda, minus the talking and then when they talked numbers, but everything they showed looked gorgeous. Every game they showed looked ambitious and awesome. We got Doom 2, Fallout 76, Quake. Oh man, what was the other list? I can't remember. There was a bunch of them.
Which
Rage
did not have me.
Rage 2, yeah.
Rage 2.
It didn't have me at all.
It looked good, but no.
Rage 2
looks
had
like
me.
Any other shooter that's coming out.
Rage 2 reminded me of Mad Max mixed with, you said Doom, was it? Or
yeah.
And it kind of grabbed me. It kind of grabbed me, honestly. So I'm gonna
give it a try, but it looked like it kind of started to lose its identity as the trailer went on. So, I didn't really know exactly what I was looking at, as far as what the game wanted to be. Because, it's bad enough they're coming out with a new Rage game, and then they're acting like everybody wanted it, even though no one wanted the first one. So, and then they rebrand it with, colorful stuff and all that. And I thought the game was going to be one of those really awesome, Insomniac-style, just wild, fun games. And you look at the gameplay, it's literally Doom set in the desert.
Retzi Lopez in the chat says Xbox steals the show. That's a literal title on what happened. Microsoft harbor all marketing media for their conference. Quantity over quality. I mean,
Jesus.
Hey, shots fired there. I mean, I kind of disagree, but I can't disagree with your logic. I thought Xbox did what they needed to do, and I was actually satisfied with the conference. But we're talking about Bethesda. What did you guys think? Go ahead.
You said, like, Retzi says quantity over quality, but everything they showed was quality.
Yep.
Everything they showed was quality work. So how is it quantity over quality?
I mean, they had a ton.
They had a ton of stuff.
They had a ton of stuff they showed.
But it was all quality work.
Yeah, it's not like it was a bad show. The show is good regardless.
I mean,
even
they
if
could have
they
literally
didn't have
threw in
much.
everybody's worst game ever, then I would understand quantity over quality.
All right, so I actually had to pull up the list because I done forgot. So we got Rage 2 on Bethesda, Elder Scrolls on Legends, Elder Scrolls Online, and the Elder Scrolls Blades. They also did announce, or did show us I guess they revealed that they're working on Elder Scrolls 6, Doom Eternal, Quake Champions, Prey, the Prey DLC, Wolfenstein Youngblood, which I did not think was interesting at all. And then, of course, the big one was Fallout 76. And then my favorite, which I was hoping that the rumors were true, was Starfield. We'll get into that later. But
Wait, you weren't impressed with the Wolfenstein?
I wasn't.
I wasn't.
I mean,
It didn't grab me.
But when they said multiplayer, they already had me. Multiplayer.
I mean,
co-op
that
is an easy
really
way to
cool.
get my attention.
That is really cool that they're bringing in co-op, but they're changing the entire style of the game, and I love the old Wolfenstein games.
Did you play New Colossus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I mean, I did too, but like I said, it just didn't grab me. Now, you might be right; it could be awesome. I'm not going to say Bethesda's. I mean, Bethesda's only really made one trash game.
Oh, I don't know if it's gonna be awesome.
But it just
adding co-op. You can sell it to me quickly.
I mean, fair enough. But to me, it just didn't grab me. It didn't grab me. Much like, you know, Rage didn't grab you. That just didn't grab me. It didn't just reach out and like, oh yeah, I want to play that. The Doom Eternal trailer though, I mean, that did grab me, but I mean, it still looked like more the same. You know what I mean? More demons, more hell, more what Doom is. So I mean, what did you guys think about Doom?
I mean, it's Doom. What is there to think about? It's Doom. It's the same game. Granted, they changed the graphics. It's the same game.
I mean, the graphics did look good, but you're right. It's the same game. It's the same game. Doom guy, big guns, stomping on demons, crazy.
It's literally just marketing there. You've got the original character Doom. You've got him doing what he does best, first-person shooters.
Well, let's talk about the best thing of the entire everything that we saw out of the last 2 days. The audience was awful.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! The Bethesda audience was awful. Andrew WK, which by the way, I'm not a big fan, but he had me hyped with that song for Rage. Andrew WK, like, he was out here performing. It's Andrew WK. We're talking about partying hard, get ready to die, all this stuff, and the crowd did not even budge, get into it.
Why?
There were a bunch of investors. There were a bunch of just people that weren't having it.
You want to know why?
Why?
This was my theory for all of E3. Everyone that went, because they're all these gamers that went are too young.
I mean, that's another thing. Like, not a lot of people are going to remember Andrew WK.
Yeah, they're too young and they don't understand. Like when Quake, for example, they don't know what the hell Quake is.
No, you're right.
Man, I am stoked for Quake.
They don't know what Quake is.
I'm glad they're coming out with Quake on console.
Like Quake and Unreal Tournament were the two games that held the PC for years. There's no way they're going to hear the words Quake and be as silent as they were. That means they don't know what it is, therefore they're too young.
See, that's the
I didn't hear one person go, oh, shit.
Like you just said, Quake used to run the PC world. And see, they fell out as soon as Halo came into a big play. But now that Halo's on its giant downfall, Quake's like, hey, we can step back in. We can continue where we left off. Yeah, Let's do this.
I can tell you one thing, though. I'm not playing Quake. I'm not playing
what?
It.
Oh, I'm not doing it.
Oh, my God.
I can do it, but I'm not playing it.
I'm playing it.
It's so fast, I won't be able to keep up. I will not. I can't play that one. I can't play it.
if it was Unreal, it'd be a different story.
Yeah. So this game Starfield. Now here's I was waiting for this. I heard these rumors and I heard what it could possibly be, and it's going to be a single player game. But from what people were saying was the rumors was it was going to be Mass Effect meets Fallout kind of a type thing, because I guess anything that associated with space should immediately be associated with Mass Effect. I guess that's how people think. But either way, I am excited for this one. I'm looking forward to this game more so than Elder Scrolls 6. That's just me personally, because I'm a sucker for anything space, and if you can give me a single player RPG experience in space, sign me up. Mass Effect is my all-time favorite franchise.
I have to go back and really look at that, because I had missed that actual stream.
They didn't really show too much. They just showed like a teaser trailer. They showed it in space, and the music sounded like Star Wars. It was really weird. And they showed a planet, and then a ship went on hyperspace, and that was it. I mean, you didn't miss too much. Same with Elder Scrolls 6. You didn't miss too much on that one. I mean, they just revealed that they're working on them, and I said, okay, cool. They're working on them. I'm glad that rumor is true for Starfield, because I was looking forward to that. I'm glad they showed it. That was kind of my personal highlight, even though it wasn't really a big highlight.
Yeah, but I will honestly say I am completely ready for Fallout 76.
I was getting ready to get into that.
I am loving the fact
into that one.
I am loving the fact that they are bringing Fallout to the multiplayer group. I am so ready for this 4-player co-op. Come on.
And it's not a freaking cop-out like Elder Scrolls Online being just an MMO with the Elder Scrolls name.
No, it's a 4-player co-op.
Goodness. Yeah, it's like a legit
I am ready for this, man.
Here's what I'm saying, because they said that you run into players online for real. So how are they going to do this? Is it going to be kind of an MMO type thing? Like, how is that going to work? And then when he was like, you get nukes to help like bomb people's settlements, I'm thinking there's no way they're just going to be handing these things out left and right. They have to it has to be almost. I would have to just say like how they do a raid in Destiny. Like you have to earn that. It's got to be like dungeon diving or some sort of raid to get those.
Oh, they showed how you get it in the gameplay. Everybody that's with you has to get like little keys to unlock
it. But how do you get those keys? How long does it take to get those keys? Like
probably forever.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, because there's no way they're going to be handing them out, because there's no way they're going to just give me a nuke. Let's nuke this settlement. Okay. Like, there's no way it's going to happen. But I'm very interested, like you said, in the multiplayer aspect. That is huge. And it seems like they're taking the right steps with the beta. They talked about all the dedicated servers. And once again, Bethesda hardly does anything wrong. They did have some trash games before, but they hardly. I mean, Brink was trash. We all know that, but they've done hardly anything wrong. And once again, they're showing it again. They're showing their true colors once again, as far as how they like to take care of the games and take care of the community. What's going on, Josh? What's going on, Sanchez? How you doing?
Now, one thing I do want to touch base on with the Elder Scrolls, I thought that was really funny. When they first showed that phone thing, I was very upset.
Yeah, I know. You were in the chat. You were like, no.
Like, I hate phone games with a passion. You have no idea how much I hate phone games. They are what made the gaming world the way it is now, with the microtransactions, the one-off games, not really good quality. And so when they did that, I was very upset.
Wait, what are we talking about?
The Elder Scrolls
phone game Blades.
Yeah,
and I didn't get to see that, but I'm kind of glad I did.
Well, what I found funny though is when he talked about playing it in when he talked about playing it vertically, and someone's like, "Why would you want to do that?" And he's like, "So you can play the game and drink your coffee." That was a quick comeback.
Play your game and drink the coffee. There's some people who like to sit and he's like, I mean, you hold it up and down, people aren't thinking you're playing a game while you're in a meeting at work. Like he went into that, dude. That was pretty funny.
Yeah,
that guy's the GOAT, by the way.
Hey, I think the highlight of that though, really quick, is the fact that at the end, because I'm sure he knew people were pretty biffed about having to only play it on the phone. He mentioned that it's going to be playable on all devices. So we're going to see it on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation, phones and tablets of some sorts, and also VR. So all forms of VR, he claims. So it's going to be on everything.
Can we also talk about how Bethesda decided to just completely wreck on themselves?
Yes.
Come to find
Skyrim.
Wait, hold on. Come to find out, earlier, just a little bit ago, we found out it's actually real.
Is it real? Are you serious?
Oh yeah. I told you guys that it was real. Yeah, they actually did that.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
What's going on, Smash
You can get
JT,
it
the
right
man, the
now.
myth? What's going on, dude? There's
Come
no
to
way.
find out it's completely
That's not real, dude.
Yes.
That's not
You
real.
can get
I
it
don't believe
right
you.
now.
I don't
Go to
believe
Amazon,
you
Andy.
guys. I don't believe you guys. I don't believe you one bit. There's no way that's real.
You
There's
can
no
get
way.
it right now.
Oh, the Alexa
Wow.
thing.
Yeah. Are you
Yeah, I
serious?
really want to do that.
You
I
can do
actually
that.
own Alexa. It's always unplugged.
Bro, I just think it's funny.
Plug it
Dude,
in.
that's
Right.
funny. You're right. He said,
Hold on.
oh my gosh.
I'm gonna send the link.
How
Or,
much
I
more
guess, when you
Skyrim
guys-
can we have? Here's Skyrim Alexa edition. Oh, by the way, it is real.
It's funny,
The
Nick, because in
legendary
your
Ultimate
chat,
Edition.
yeah, Nick, in your chat, I literally said, "Oh God, please don't give us any more Skyrim." And 20 minutes later, he's mentioning Skyrim.
Right, he mentioned Skyrim.
I found that
then,
hilarious.
Then we thought it was a joke, though. I mean,
Oh, my God.
there's Keegan Michael Key talking about doing this. Oh man, and then
That's
and
Fires
pretty
up-
there's
fun.
no- I cannot
Fires
believe it's
up-
real.
I
I
can't
cannot
sorry.
believe that's real.
Fire on the fridge.
Hey, Skyrim Alexa seems fun. It's like you go into a dark cave and see a giant wood elf. What do you do? Well, I hit him with my sword. Like, come on now. That just sounds fun. You just lay in bed and talk to your Alexa just through a story. I don't know. That sounds fun. I'm lame. That just sounds fun.
Oh.
Well, I mean, Alexa does have like 21 questions on it. You can
That's
literally
true.
stand there and just talk to Alexa, and Alexa guesses what character you're thinking of. So why couldn't they do a step-by-step Skyrim style game?
Well, Smash JT says, "I am a dragon from Skyrim attacking the chat. What will you do?" Well, apparently I'm gonna eat all the cheese. Eat all the cheese. That's what I'm gonna do. Eat all the cheese.
You're lactose intolerant.
I eat all the cheese.
All the cheese. Oh,
Yeah, that was
pretty funny.
that was good. That was good. I don't know that
No,
that
I
guy
think
has
the-
such a
I
great personality.
Yes.
The,
Keegan Michael
whatever
Key.
his name is.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
Key.
the other guy.
No, that's Keegan Michael Key. Jordan Peele's the other dude.
Oh, I know that. I'm talking about the cool guy that hosted the whole thing, like that brought out all the cool stuff when all the lame people went away.
What's his name? I don't remember, but
I can't think of his name anymore.
But he's the GOAT.
But you're talking
He's the
about he's the head director.
He's the head
or
director,
head
but he's the
developer.
GOAT. Like that dude controlled the room, ran the room, was just laid back. Like I was like, man, really want to drink a beer with this guy. Like that's how
Yeah,
cool
he
was.
is a beautiful human being.
He's
Like, that personality, I want.
He's the GOAT. He's the GOAT. That's for sure.
I hope I'm like him when I'm 47.
No,
'Cause
Phil
he's-
I mean,
Spencer
but-
has to go.
As you saw in the Bethesda thing dealing with like Elder Scrolls Blades, I mean, they're not the only one that's coming out with a phone game.
What are you talking about, Gears of War?
Yeah, Gears is coming out with their own phone game.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. Elder Scrolls Blades looks like a regular console Elder Scrolls. The Gears of War thing just looks like a shitty. Like,
They didn't actually show any gameplay of the phone game. What you saw,
the Gears of War thing.
yeah, what you
Yeah,
saw
but the fact that
was.
they're pop figures is already enough to know it's bad.
I mean, come on.
Like here's my.
But,
let me segue into this, and let me guys ask you this question real quick, because it seems like every conference, one of these it mentioned we're coming out with a mobile game. EA came out with that one mobile game. I done forgot because I was ignoring it. Xbox with that Gears, Bethesda with the Elder Scrolls, and what was the Fallout 1, and now apparently I mean we already know that Nintendo has run Mario Run and Animal Crossing. Now they're getting ready to do Mario Kart Tour, and you expect more of these companies to like get into the mobile gaming market like that, because like you said, Andy, like you're kind of mad at mobile gaming because it kind of made what gaming is today. But
Yep, I've always hated it.
But do you think like these companies are going to do more into this, or do you think it's just a trend and it'll pass over, or you think it's here to stay?
Stay.
It's really hard to say because it doesn't hurt them to do it. Like they're just making money no matter what.
I'm really
Especially
gonna
since
say
it's all
it's here to stay.
microtransactions. Yeah, since it's all microtransactions, that's pure profit. So it will stay. But see, I don't know. It depends because Nintendo, it's kind of been biting them in the ass because they are too. What is the word to use? They are too nice. I guess
It's too nice.
like Nintendo's too nice for the phone game thing because like they released the game $10 only, no microtransactions. No one
They
wants
released
it because
complete
people would rather have a
experience.
free game.
Right.
So they release a free game and they have minimal microtransactions and they're doing well, but they're not doing Niantic Pokemon style well because Nintendo's not trying to leech money from people. They need to become soulless like the rest of these phone game companies.
What's that
make all their
Sonic
money.
game called? What's that
make all their
Sonic
money.
game called? That Sonic Dash thing, just riddled with microtransactions.
Yeah,
and
that
ads.
game, and it's doing really well. Yeah. So Nintendo needs to kind of become selfish and rip money from people like everyone else on phone games are doing, and then they'll do well with phone. But as of right now, they're being a little too nice about it, so they're not making as much money as they're hoping. Because yes, Mario is a huge franchise, but at the same time, casual gamers aren't going to look at this on their phone, want to spend the $10 for some fucking reason. Like,
because nobody wants to spend the money up front. They want to see the game to know that when they buy the microtransactions, that it's worth buying.
And that's why I said that that's why I said when the Elder Scrolls Blades comes out, if it is not a free-to-play game, it won't sell well.
It's going to crash.
Yeah, just because if a game like Mario, for Christ's sake, if a game like Mario didn't do well, there's no way Elder Scrolls is going to do well as a paid game with any casual gamer, because the phone is for casual gamers. Hardcore gamers aren't going to look at that shit. They're going to be on a console. That's where they're going to be. The last thing I'm going to ever see someone do, like at my house, having an Xbox One X, 2 other Xboxes in the other room, same deal with PS4 Pro, Nintendo Switch, GameCube, Dreamcast. Am I going to pick up my phone and play anything? That's not going to happen.
Fair enough.
Honestly, for like hardcore gamers, the only time they play anything is when they're not home.
I mean, when I'm not home, I don't even play mobile games. Real talk. I don't even play mobile games when I'm at home. I don't.
No, that's what I'm saying. Well, no, I'm saying like for me, I'll play mobile games all the time when I'm sitting like at my girl's doctor's appointments. If I'm not having to do anything, what am I gonna do?
Pokemon Go.
Pokemon Go.
There you go.
I
mean, I'm gonna play a mobile game.
That'll fix that
That's
issue.
the only one I'm okay with.
Get a Switch, fix that issue.
Like, Pokemon Go is the only thing I'm
you're talking about spending a lot of money to have something like that. My
took
phone,
my Switch.
I pay for monthly.
That's true.
That's still a lot of money. Just 3 monthly payments on your phone is the amount of any console.
See?
Yeah, but see, I can pay. Pay monthly. I can pay monthly on my phone and not have that money saved up for that console.
Nintendo needs to fix this with actual voice chat. Oh boy, that's shady.
Oh, that's a different subject. That's a different subject for another day.
Yeah, I know, right?
So moving on. So we have what, 3 conferences down. We got what, 3 more to go. At least to me, because the 3 that I'm paying attention to. We got Sony tomorrow, Square Enix, Nintendo. I mean, are any of you guys gonna pay attention to the PC show at all? Anybody?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
No, I'm gonna pay attention to the Ubisoft show.
There you
I've
go.
kind of got some things invested, wanting to see what's going on there.
Yeah, and I didn't see a point in looking at PC, because when you are a PC gamer, you are constantly on Steam anyway, and Steam loves to bombard you with new games. So I don't need to watch a show on TV to see everything Steam's going to show me the same day anyway.
Fair enough.
So,
fair enough.
Yeah, I don't see the point in PC.
What do you expect to see from Ubisoft, from Square Enix, from Sony, Nintendo? Let's just start with Sony. What do you guys expect to see from Sony?
I mean, literally all you're gonna see pretty much. I don't even think.
Yeah, more of the same stuff. Yeah, it's gonna be more of the same stuff.
Honestly, I really just think that it's just gonna be either reboots or it's going to be continuations of old games.
I mean, they did say they have some new stuff that they're making. Like they said, like last week, that they have 10 brand new IP and title.
I mean, do you think they'll show Last of Us 2?
Well, they have to.
They have to. That's the only way. That's the only way they're going to succeed at all in E3 is if they show Last of Us 2.
Well, I know Reti Lopez. I don't know if he's still in the chat. He may have bounced, but he was talking trash during the Xbox conference, saying, "You know that once they show Last of Us 2, it's going to crush anything Xbox is going to do." And I was like, "Well, I kind of disagree, but that would be a big hitter." But other than that, I mean, that's all they can really do is show us.
To be fair,
that's the only thing people are looking forward to.
Well, to be fair, Last of Us is not going to sell consoles because PlayStation sold so many consoles, people already own it.
Fair enough. I mean, that's
make it seem like
that's a fair assumption. That's a fair assumption.
Like, they can't sell consoles if everyone already has the console. I mean, the way they talk about PlayStation sales, it's kind of hard to I can assume everybody down my street has one with the way they're talking. Slightly a joke. The only thing I expect from Sony, period, because it's going to be more of the same that we've already been seeing, and they're obviously going to have a couple new things, but that's stuff that we're not going to know about. So as far as what we know is going to be there, the only thing I really care about at this point is probably Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like that's
I done forgot about Spider-Man already. That was a good one
for Spider-Man, and I should be because I
That
read
was
his
a good one.
comics all the time.
That was a good one. That's a good one.
I think that's the only thing, because like
Is that
unless
Spider-Man
they
game
show a new God of
exclusive?
War, yeah, it's exclusive. That's for starters, that's Insomniac, and Microsoft was lucky to even get Insomniac for the time that they had.
I will say no. There's definitely not going to be another Gears or another God of War. They can't. There's no way in heck they can come out with another God of War within what 4 months after releasing one.
Wow,
You never
I don't know. No,
they
because
can
this
show
guy.
it, but there's reused
can-
assets. That's the point of using the same engine.
Yeah, but the problem is like it took so long for them to finally release this God of War. I don't see them even referencing another one yet.
Well, you think they're gonna like Square Enix it and wait another 13 years to release?
Shoot, I can see them. I can see them being like, "We got God of War DLC coming out, guys." I can see that happening.
I could
Yeah.
see, I could see that. I could see that one. I could see
Yeah.
DLC. But I don't see like another full game. Not yet.
No, I mean
Maybe
obviously
next
no.
year.
It's too soon.
Maybe next year.
I don't know. I'm not gonna say we'll see God of War or they'll have a new one out now or anything. But to inform people that there would be another one, because it's not hard to believe, because annual video games is a thing. We watch, although sports games usually have terrible graphics, we see games like EA sports games, shooting
Well,
games
there's a
that
key
come
right
out
there. Terrible graphics. God of War actually looked great, and God of War they
it
actually put
looked
a lot of
amazing.
effort into that game. There's no way they could just come out with another God of War that soon,
Well-
unless they were working on back to back to back.
Well, companies reuse. That's the point of like a company reusing assets and reusing the same engine. Is that the process of making the game is 0 to none. Not that I would say they come out with a new one next year. It's just more the fact that it wouldn't really be too hard for them to, because they already have the models for the characters. They have the model for the world. They didn't delete it. They're not Nintendo. They still have all of that, so they're able to reuse and continue that story. Because like the game, I'm not
They
spoiling
made
it.
$1 million of those.
It's like I'm not going to spoil it, but you're kind of, you know,
They left it with a cliffhanger.
They left it with a cliffhanger at his own freaking house. It's not like he went somewhere new. like they will probably just use the exact same world that he's already in,
Fair enough.
and just.
What do
and
you
just
think about a
make it go over to
possible new Zero Horizon Dawn?
Oh, I don't even like that series. So
Hmm.
it's literally
It-
just a rehashed Tomb Raider. I wasn't impressed.
Nah,
I
actually,
think it's very viable that we could see.
I
it.
wouldn't say it was a rehashed Tomb Raider.
Well, have you played Tomb Raider?
I played the first one and second one.
Did you play Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, but I
Yeah,
watched
there you
some,
go.
but I watched somebody play it. It doesn't look anything like that though.
The only thing that it has different from Horizon Zero Dawn is the fact that it has a great story and beautiful graphics. Other than that,
Kind
the
of-
gameplay was pretty much the same. I don't care if I'm fighting a giant metal dinosaur. The gameplay was still Tomb Raider.
Okay.
Edwin Norton says Microsoft is playing catch up with Sony, and Fire Soul answered, "Is the Switch part of this gen? Because if it is, I wouldn't say that Sony has already won. I don't know if you can count
Well-
the Switch as part of this gen."
Let's be real, because this is like a topic that I absolutely hate. The console war thing and the winning thing. There's no battle to be won. Now, if you're a gamer and you claim to be a gamer, you are here to play the games,
Yep.
not fanboy and choose a specific company to just love, and then everybody else is bad and this company can't do wrong.
True.
Like that honestly shouldn't be a thing at all. Nintendo is so far off on left field, like they always are. They shouldn't be considered in any console generation by default, just because they're doing their own thing. They've already given their middle fingers to everyone else, and they'll continue to do so.
True.
And Sony and Microsoft's not even trying to butt heads with Sony, because if Microsoft was trying to butt heads with Sony, they probably would have done better than they have. But see, they care more about quality, and that's why they're willing to push a game back or cancel it, unfortunately. But that's why they're willing to do that. They're willing to put themselves in jeopardy in order to put out the best quality they can. And the thing about Sony, unlike Microsoft and Nintendo, it counts for them too. The Japanese market is much bigger than the American market and the European market. So by default, Sony has more going on because they have the anime. They have the European market by default.
Yep.
They have a much easier source material to work with because their system's Linux based, and that makes it easier for it to work with. So by default, Sony has more stuff, but there shouldn't really be considered a legitimate war. It's just about what you want to play and where you want to do it.
Yeah, they just have the bigger install base. They just give more stuff.
Yeah,
True.
so it's like, and you would think Microsoft will have a lot because Windows clearly is easy to develop for, given the Steam. But see, they didn't implement Windows into the Xbox until last year. That's when it went to Windows 10 as opposed to whatever it was before. So I mean, those are things you'd have to factor in. But yeah, there's no battle. There's no winning. Sony doesn't get any prize in the end. The only prize they get is that good job. It's like that doesn't do anything for them. So
like the whole who's winning, who's losing. I hate the whole like what is a gen? Like what is a generation? I don't think Nintendo cares.
Right.
Yeah, they
Nintendo don't care. They're
care. Always on their own field.
Andy hitting them with the facts. So moving on, I know you, Demon. Well, Lieutenant Surge. I don't even know what to call you, Lieutenant Surge. I know you were talking about Ubisoft and you were looking forward to that Ubisoft conference. Me, I'm not so much. Not really looking forward to it. I mean, because it's Ubisoft. I mean, what they're gonna show us another Assassin's Creed.
Well, that'd be dope.
That would, which they will. The Division 2, which we already seen. What else will you see at this point? Were they going to show us more For Honor characters? More.
I feel like
stuff?
I feel like with Division 2, they're going to go completely in depth with it. I mean, yeah, I know Xbox got to have the right to go really in depth with it, but I think you're going to see some other kind of gameplay with it. For me, yes, I want to see how they're rebooting For Honor, because For Honor, when it first came out, was said that it's going to last for at least 5 years.
Yeah.
When they released the game, they said it was supposed to last for at least 5 years.
I mean, they made
the game has progressively been getting better. The game is progressively been getting better. The next thing I'm wanting to look forward to is seeing how they're gonna mess with Siege. They've already released most 2 parts of this year 3, but I want to see what else they're talking about with Siege, because Siege is becoming a very big game.
It is.
I mean, it's hitting the Major League Gaming community. I want to see where they're going with it.
Well, that and For Honor, if you've seen those
games,
they're both.
For Honor is
that
also
same
starting
pattern.
to hit the Major League setting.
But what were you saying, Will? You were saying something.
Oh, first I was going to say Beyond Good and Evil 2, but I was going to also say that Ubisoft, like, they make a lot of promises, and
yep,
most of the time they never keep.
Sony and Ubisoft with their fucking promises.
Hey, fair enough.
We'll see. What you're saying is Ubisoft's promises are, we're going to have a great game to start. Those promises, yeah, we already know. We already know what to expect from it.
One thing I will say though,
Go ahead.
I respect Ubisoft 100% for the game plan that they have put forward for their games, and more companies need to follow suit. Ubisoft's plan, and it has worked, is not to release as many games as possible as Sony, but is to release quality, or try to release quality games, and then from there, try to keep as much content on those games going for years to come, as opposed to trying to have multiple titles. Like the Division 2, they already came out and said they didn't even want to make that game. They wanted to expand and add to Division 1, but with the resources and assets that they had and the things that they wanted to do with the game,
quite frankly, they probably needed to do that.
Yeah, it required them to make a whole new game.
Right, quite
they
frankly,
had to make a new game.
There's no way they could just add a Division 2.
But see, like Ghost Recon Wildlands, they've been keeping that alive. Far Cry, same thing. Not really. Far Cry, they plan on keeping that one alive. They said each game that they release, they want to go for at least a 4 to 5 year span, rather than making multiple versions of the same game. Other than Assassin's Creed, that's what they're going to be doing. And I respect that wholly, and more companies need to do that. Like,
I mean, I do respect that, because I was getting sick of the annual Assassin's Creed releases.
Yeah, so like,
always ridiculous.
As a perfect example that any sports fan should agree with, because I used to play FIFA and FIFA, UEFA, and Top Spin and all those tennis and soccer games all the time. And any sports fan should agree with what EA needs to do is stop making multiple new Madden games over and over and over again.
Yep.
Let you have one game with yearly DLC packs or updates. to make it
I've been saying that from the beginning, but they will never do that because people are willing to spend the money.
Yeah, and if it was Ubisoft, that's something they would be doing right here, right now, because that's what Ubisoft's been doing. That's why Ghost Recon Wildlands, because I keep using that one, because that game and Rainbow Six are incredibly impressive with the fact that they've kept these games going for so long. New content. Every time I turn the game on, they're like, hey, there's this new thing that's going to be happening. It's dropping soon. Free update, blah, blah, blah.
Yep.
Look forward to it. I'm like, this is what I want to see. More longevity to a specific game rather than trying to give me a new one next year. I don't know. I respect that about them.
I think you're starting to see that a little bit, but like Microsoft, you can see them trying to do that with Sea of Thieves, but Sea of Thieves was already bare bones, nothing to do in that game that it almost just seems funny when they do that. But you start to see these companies do that a little bit more and more with these games, giving them the longevity that way. What were you saying, Demon?
The problem with Sea of Thieves is, it was bare bones when it came out. Everybody played it so much in the test servers that nobody really wanted to touch it once it came out. Like, it fell off real quick.
Yeah.
Granted, I've been seeing that they're going to be bringing a story baseline to it. They're going to be adding new features to it. I mean, I know they're going to be bringing out where, like, there's going to be ghost ships that attack you, and there's going to be kind of a story that you can follow, but I don't see Sea of Thieves getting any better.
No, probably not. But I was just saying that you're starting to see more companies take that approach to these games a little bit more. The problem
is honestly, if they want to get something like Sea of Thieves going, honestly, Xbox or Microsoft needs to be able to buy the rights to completely make every game that Rare owned.
That's impossible because most of those games are Nintendo's.
Most of those games are
Nintendo. I know. That's what I'm saying. They need to find a way to buy the rights off of Nintendo. Honestly, I'd be really happy if there was some way, shape, or form Microsoft could make a Donkey Kong.
That was the reason. Funny history lesson. That was the reason why Microsoft bought Rare to begin with, because they thought they could get Donkey Kong.
I know they did.
That's exactly why. And they found out all they could get was Conker and Banjo.
I was so upset when they could not get Donkey Kong, man. When they brought out Rare Replay, I was so ready
no way.
Because it's Rare, man. Rare owns that game.
Rare doesn't own that game. Rare just made that game.
I'm sorry.
For a minute.
I would agree with you if Retro didn't come out and make Donkey Kong a better game.
I know. I know.
Because like the Rare Donkey Kong games are freaking beautiful until you get to
Donkey Kong Country. Donkey Kong Country was my favorite.
Oh my gosh,
Did you play the third one?
I played 1, 2, and 3.
The third one was the least of the
third
least.
One was poop.
But I still enjoyed it as a little kid. I didn't know any better.
I say Donkey Kong 3 was just as good.
No. But I haven't played that game since I was like, I don't know, 8, 10. So I don't know any better. Well, there you go.
I got somebody here in my house who agrees with me and says Donkey Kong Country 3 was just as good as Donkey Kong Country 2.
Well, you know, I mean, I wouldn't
know. Not remember. I played them both last night because I played Country 3. I played Country 3 last night and it was flabbergasted at just how bad and clunky it was, and deleted it and went right to 2.
Man.
Oh man,
I'm sorry. That is my childhood. I grew up on Donkey Kong Country.
The music still holds up, though.
For real. Correct about that.
The music will always hold up.
The music still holds up.
Donkey Kong Country music has always been the best.
All right.
But real quick though, touching back on Sea of Thieves, I don't want to blame Microsoft. I don't know what they're doing with Rare as far as like just making the game and leaving them alone. But Sea of Thieves literally can become a beautiful game if they take the time to create a storyline for it, or just not even more stuff to do. Give the game a story, give the player some direction. Correct. And the game will turn out perfect. They just got to take the time to do it and stop trying to make it a one-off.
The problem is they've made Sea of Thieves an MMO. There's no other connection to it. It's just an MMO.
I mean,
it's not even that.
It wouldn't be hard for them to write a story and add to it because the game is open
that's what
source.
I'm saying. Like, if they could really get a course of action to go with that game, you'd have more people who are happy to play it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Because, like I said, it's just an MMO. There's no role playing anything other than just, okay, I'm a pirate. Cool.
I'm gonna add one thing. I am gonna add one
Okay,
thing.
I'm a pirate. Cool. Show up in the ship.
Its player base has not fallen that much yet. Just because when you look at games that have come out recently over the last few years, there actually aren't too many. Surprisingly enough, when you really think about it, there aren't too many games that you can lay back and sort of casually play with 3 other friends.
That much.
I know 95% of my friends list played that game during the test servers and have not touched it since it came out.
I mean, that's just
95%.
That's just like what 100 people on your friends list or 200.
Oh no, I have about 300 people on my friends list.
Yeah, versus thousands.
Jeez.
So it's like you basically just have a school's worth of people that stop playing.
I know, but still, like, if that's the case for me, just think about that. There's a lot of people that have fallen off of it.
Like, for example, with my channel, with all, I'm going to just say 1,800 people. If I actually, to all the Xbox gamers out there, said, I'm going to play Sea of Thieves, you guys want to play? God forbid I ever do that. They would all join. They would join. Most of those games that I don't really feel like playing, I never announce. But they would join. Like, the game still has its charm and longevity. It's just the fact of, you play it now, you do a little bit of gaming on it, you get tired of it, you come back to it maybe some other day if they add something. Because if they add something to the game, people will get curious and take a look. Because people liked the game. It just didn't have any reason for you to continue playing it.
And see, that's what I was trying to say.
But when you say but, everything you said beforehand doesn't matter anymore. But the game still has a player base, mainly with kids though. But mainly because when you sit down and play a game, because I deal with this with Will and other friends all the time, and we go, what are we going to play today? I don't want to play Call of Duty or anything super like crazy. I just want to relax and play. There's not much. There's not much at all. Can't think of too many games like that. Like State of Decay is obviously one, and we're going to talk about Xbox specifically. They don't have much. If you do some indie games, it's great. But overall, I can say maybe about 100 games have legitimate like multiplayer that isn't super hardcore PvP of some sort that you can sit down, relax, and play. And that's the one charm, like the bit of charms that Sea of Thieves at least brings. Like, I'm not going to tell you it's gold and it can't do no wrong. The game needs some content, but we can't pretend like people are like not playing it because it is still doing really, really well.
All right. Fair enough. All right. So
I will say honestly, most of the player base fell off after the $1 million treasure hunt that happened at the very beginning.
I mean, I can say that I fell off a little bit, but I did hunt the Megalodon, and that was pretty fun. But we're moving on to the next one. So Square Enix has a press conference coming up, and I mean, I don't exactly know what to expect other than I would have liked to have seen Kingdom Hearts, but now that they already showed that on Xbox,
oh, no,
I mean,
I honestly think that there's going to be some more sneak previews to Kingdom Hearts with the Square Enix.
Possibly. I think you're probably right. But what I am looking most forward to, and this is that news that we are getting a Nintendo Switch specific division from Square Enix that focuses on making games for the Nintendo Switch. Now that I find very interesting, and that I find exciting. Think of the possibilities of what they could do, the remix they could make, Super Mario RPG remix, Final Fantasy VI remake, Chrono Trigger remake. Just think of the possibilities that they could do for the Switch. I am looking forward to this. Andy, I'm gonna let you take the reins on this one. What do you think about this whole Switch division that Square Enix is coming out with?
Well, for starters, I would love to have a Chrono Trigger. Because that is literally absolutely one of the best games ever made, period. And if you guys have played it, we are not friends. No, Chrono Trigger is beautiful. Them having their own definitely intrigues me because I do wonder exactly what they're gonna do with it. Because I don't know if they're gonna make like
originals or not.
Personal opinion. I don't know if they're gonna make good quality games like regular Final Fantasy game, or maybe a re-release or a remake, or
I think it all depends on Octopath Traveler. They even said that. I think it depends on how Octopath Traveler, how well that game does.
Yeah, because it's either we get stuff of that quality, or they're going to just basically shit on Nintendo fans and give us like Theater Rhythm or something, which I'm sure I like that game. It's not my thing though. I consider that to be a phone game quality game.
You're honestly saying something that's already happened before. I mean, Square Enix had their division that was DS only.
Yeah, and they made some decent
now
games.
You're moving it to the Switch, which is basically the DS on a console.
That's true, but then now we're talking about higher quality content.
Exactly.
Yes,
higher quality content, and you were able to bring out high quality
now.
games for this one now. So what will they do with that?
I mean, of course, there's going to be. I'm betting you there's a 95% chance, not this year, but with having the Switch only division, after a year or two after Kingdom Hearts 3 comes out, you'll hear a remix come out, which is probably going to be Switch only. Because every remix has only been pretty much in Nintendo's hands.
Yeah. I think they're gonna like this whole team's purpose is to port current games. Like they're trying to get like the Final Fantasy 15 on the Switch.
Yeah, I mean,
I see the pocket edition.
So you see them doing more of that, not more of actual exclusive games for the Switch.
I honestly don't see anything new that they put in there yet.
I bet you they will, just because of
I would love to see Chrono Trigger in the Octopath.
I honestly
art style. Like that HD 2D, that looks gorgeous.
I mean, that'd be great, but like honestly, I still see Square Enix trying to bring games they already have and put them on the Switch. Find ways to put them on the Switch.
They already said that.
They already said they're going to do, but that was said before they revealed that they're doing a Switch specific division. They already said that, hey, we're going to try to figure out the best way we can get games on the Switch. They said anything is in the realm of possibility if they can make it work. But they never said that, hey, we're having a Switch specific division to make games specifically for the Switch.
They're not going to. They want your hopes up. They don't want to. They don't want to say, okay, well, the Switch division's only going to do this.
I mean, you may be right. You may be 100% right. I don't know, but I'm just saying they said it's depending on Octopath
would
Traveler.
You be happy for it?
What?
If they said literally, the Switch division is only focused on bringing games that we already have, and we're going to put them on the Switch.
No, I would not be happy with that. I want them to bring
go.
more original IPs to Switch, like Octopath Traveler or any ambitious games they can get on there. On top of that, I would love to see games like Chrono Trigger remade, like they did with Secret of Mana. I'd love to see that. But no, I wouldn't be happy with that. That would just be stupid. I mean, but
there you go.
But
so they have to say things in a way to make you ready for it.
I get that, but they already said those things to make us ready for it last year. Now they're saying they have a Switch specific division for this.
Well, the problem is they said that last year, but nothing's came out yet.
I mean, they had the Secret of Mana remake.
Okay.
What else? I mean, they're working on things.
That's a remake.
I would be fine if the division was just for, because Square Enix makes great games that never ever come to Switch. So even if it was just their past games,
that would make some people actually really happy.
I mean, it would make a lot of people happy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean,
but
I don't see anything new.
I see both sides, but they said depending on how Octopath Traveler does, that's how they will steering it moving forward. So if you want this, buy Octopath.
Yeah, I mean,
they will have some stuff for Switch. It is not going to be all like one-offs and remakes and ports and stuff. Like if they were going to do that, they wouldn't need.
But Square Enix is known for that.
But the thing is
known for when they focus their time on something, it's always spin-offs of something.
But when the thing is, you have to think about though, because this brings back to the point you made about the 3DS. The 3DS wasn't all ports and blah blah blah. It was all IP that only stayed on 3DS. Multiple, countless games. And with that being said, they are not going to open a whole new division, which costs a lot of money, just to do re-releases and remakes. Now, that creativity they had with the 3DS, they're going to be able to take that and take off with it on the Nintendo Switch. They're going to have a lot more content than they ever could have on the 3DS. And the 3DS had some damn good content. Even Final Fantasy Explorers, which was like the most boring game I've ever played by Square Enix, it's still quality content. A lot of people enjoyed that game, regardless of how boring it was. But that's still not something that's anywhere else. That's something that was made specifically for 3DS. And I can only think of 2 games right now. You'd have to tell me more. But 2 games right now that were on the 3DS that literally were remakes or re-release. And that was a Final Fantasy game that was rendered in 3D versus being a flat game from the Nintendo system. because they redid Final Fantasy 3 in full 3D for the 3DS, which is totally different than just a regular port.
Yeah. I mean, we kind of touched on that in Bolt's chat. It was like, because it really excites me that the director for Octopath is the one who said it, because like Octopath is my game of the year. It is not even come out yet. So like, I'm really looking forward to the game.
The game does look great. I mean, here's the deal about Octopath. I just thought it was just gonna be another kind of little RPG. I did not know all the in-depth aspects to that game that'll make that game what it is until they started putting out these trailers every once in a while, showing you the protagonist and their abilities, and you need to use your abilities to do this and that. Like, I was like, okay, now I'm all in on this game. So I am looking forward to that game. So I mean, as far as E3 goes, I hope to hear more about this Switch division. I doubt we will, but I mean, as far as E3 goes, what do you, other than that, other than Kingdom Hearts 3, is there anything else you would like to see? Nothing.
I'd like to see that. I'd honestly like to see something that comes after 15. I'm a Final Fantasy.
You know what I do want to see? This stupid remake, Final Fantasy 7 remake we're supposed to have been getting since 2012.
You're asking what I want to see from the Square Enix?
Yes.
Avengers.
I hope
they're making an Avengers video game.
Yeah, I would love to see something like that. See what's going to go on with that.
It's
probably going to be something
Ultimate Alliance, basically.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a Ultimate Alliance style.
Well,
but it's going to be Avengers Infinity War style.
Well, from what I read on, not even. From what I read online is that they're going for, from the words of one of the producers in a meeting or whatever, interview, is that they want it to be a 3-dimensional, over-the-shoulder-ish type game.
That's fine.
But still in the vein of the Ultimate Alliance series, because he mentioned the classic top-down games. So I'm a little confused as about what they're going to show, but if it was like a 3-dimensional over-the-shoulder, like the Spider-Man games or whatever, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. That'd be dope.
Okay, the one thing that might put a damper on it, because they're marketing it as Avengers. That alone doesn't really mean that the X-Men won't show up or anything, but like they do have a bad history of excluding the X-Men, especially in this century.
Well, the thing is with video games, is that this is the biggest problem with licensing in video games and getting all of those Marvel characters. Just about, let's say, any company that makes a Marvel game other than Capcom is allowed to use whoever they want. Capcom's the only ones that can't, because they already have a track record of using specific characters, and they don't want to see it as like advertisement for another person. So, 20th Century Fox and then pulled the characters out, is what happened with that. But that's why Ultimate Alliance was able to be re-released again, because it's confusing, because I looked into all the licensing in that, because I was confused as to why those games were able to come out with X-Men characters and stuff, but Infinite didn't. And it's because Capcom didn't have, because the Japanese Capcom division doesn't have the rights to that for some stupid reason, because they're in Japan, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look into that, and especially with the whole movie thing, it's heavily based on the movies as well. So even if they did, Marvel's just treating the X-Men characters like crap anyways, because they don't have the rights to it.
Yep. They don't want it to be free advertisement, basically.
All right, well, guys, I gotta hop out of here. I will be back later.
All right, man. All right. Yeah. So moving on to the next topic real quick. Moving on to Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo's already told us and gave us a schedule what they're going to show us throughout E3. The Splatoon tournament, they're going to show that, I believe, tomorrow, right? I think that's what they said. They're going to start showing that tomorrow. And then their conference, or their direct, is Tuesday, followed by Treehouse event, which is going to be more coverage of Smash and the Splatoon tournament. Other than that, I mean, do you expect any surprises from Nintendo? Because they kind of just gave us a blueprint of what to expect all week long. I don't know.
Based on some of the things that I personally know, yes. And then there's the Direct itself, which their new style of Direct, they basically just shotgun a bunch of new games. Always. That's the way the Direct has been. And then next to that, the Treehouse they use to reveal games as well. Not as many, but they still do it. For example, Metroid Samus Returns was first revealed at Treehouse, not during a direct. So Nintendo's an open slate. Anything can happen. Have no idea.
Yeah, fair enough. See, because that's what I'm thinking. Just because they gave us a blueprint, and I'm like, what about these news of all these games that are supposedly coming out with that Star Fox racing game, the Fortnite that's supposed to be coming, that we allegedly Dragon Ball Fighter Z. What else was on that whole list about 2 or 3 weeks ago that was just ridiculous?
Well, that list doesn't even matter. And there's like, shoot, what are there? There's like 7 games on that. No, that's right. That list doesn't matter. There's no. I'm not even gonna let that list be like the only thing, because that's just not a thing. Yeah, Nintendo is very
more than that.
Yeah, Nintendo's very good at safeguarding what they're gonna do as far as directs are concerned, because they barely tell other retailers, they barely give any real information to anybody about what they're doing. It's just other companies that let their stuff leak out like that. Like, for example, one thing that I remember a few years ago working with GameStop, and during the conference call, they talked about stuff that's going to be released for E3 that were told to them by specific developers. And that stuff got leaked immediately after the fucking conference call, hilariously enough. And so that's why some companies don't really share. So like those could have been the ones, obviously, that GameStop was told ahead of time, so they were able to put the SKUs in the computer as placeholders, maybe make their their weekly ad right then and there, and it's not going to be filled out with everything. So like that's 1 page of a weekly ad out of 6. Yeah, there's that list is nothing though, and plus some of that stuff is no-brainers. Why wouldn't you put Fortnite?
True. So you mentioned that you know some things. So without telling us anything, because that's gonna be hard. Other than the Smash, and whether are there gonna be any other IPs that you think that they will announce?
There's a new one.
There's a new one. Are we talking brand new or just of the same franchise coming out?
There's a new one.
Okay.
I'm just gonna tell you there's a new one.
Hey, that's all I need to hear. There's a new one. But will that be this year, or will that be down the road?
That I don't know.
Fair enough.
I don't know. And I will say, and this is not based on anything that I personally know, this is just speculation. With the amount of stuff that's coming out this year, if we get anything on Star Fox, the game will not be this year in any form. I'm expecting I'm expecting Smash Brothers, for example, to be between a lot of people at the office are saying September. I'm expecting between October and December. See, they don't want to completely overload because Pokemon is also like December 16th.
Right. I thought my guess would have been September, just because the NSO comes out in September. It would be great for them to be able to double dip on that.
Yeah,
getting subscriptions on that and Smash coming.
Yeah, because some people are thinking that if they do that in September, then when's Yoshi coming out? And I feel like Yoshi's going to be that like February-March title, kind of like Kirby was. Yeah, that's what I'm feeling like with that. Because Nintendo has everything spaced out to the point where they can have 1 game each month, or skip a month and then have 1 game each month. It's kind of how they have everything slated. Because there's too many heavy hitters. We have Smash Brothers. They have Smash Brothers to put out. They have Pokemon to put out. They have Metroid to put out. Yoshi to put out. What am I missing?
This alleged new IP you're talking about.
Yeah, the new IP. And what I'm hoping. Say what?
The alleged new IP.
Legend of IP. But there's like 6 or 7 games right there already that we're already aware of versus stuff that we're not aware of. So there's no way they're going to bring out all of these games in 1 year.
Even the GameStop CEO, he pretty much said it. He was like, "Oh yeah, the Switch is doing great. There are more games coming this year they haven't said about yet." It's like, dude, you're bad at your job.
Yeah. So like, there's a lot coming out. They have too many games that they need to actually put. Therefore, there's no way they're going to bombard this year and to be empty next year. Therefore, the fact that Smash and Pokemon are going to be in the same year already is that weighs heavy.
See, I thought the same thing. I remember somebody was saying that they thought maybe there'd be like an Animal Crossing in December, and I'm like, why would that? I was like, Nintendo, there's no way Nintendo could just front load that way, because what would be left for next year?
Even if they did, Animal Crossing would be overshadowed, like completely by
100%.
Pokemon and Smash. Animal Crossing is more of, like we said with Kirby, that's like a March game, and if they did Animal Crossing at all, I feel like that would be kind of like when New Leaf came out, pretty damn close to June, like a summer game that you would wind down and play. So if they even announce an Animal Crossing, that's next year, and if it's this year, I'll bite my tongue on it. But if they announce one at all, that has to be a next year.
What about the chances of Mario Party?
They're high.
High. Fair enough, because I remember that rumor came out last year or earlier this year about Mario Party.
I'm not confirming anything. I'm just saying the chances are high. The chances are high.
What's going on, Stitch?
I'm hearing Mario Party stuff, not at work or anything. I'm just hearing Mario Party stuff everywhere else.
Yeah, on top of that, the New York Giants fan did say we also will have a Pokemon game next year. So, I mean, Nintendo, right now, it looks like games, as far as what they have, they have a good slate of games coming out for the next 2 years, which is great. But as far as this E3, like I said, I don't, there has to be a surprise. I just don't know what it is, even though they're saying this is what we're doing.
Really quick prediction.
What is it?
We are going to see 3 Mario games.
Do you think we'll see a maker for the Switch?
Well, my thought was more of, by default, we already know we're going to see Mario Tennis.
Fair enough. Yep.
I'm expecting a 2D style Super Mario Brothers game, like New Super Mario Brothers. That or Mario Party. And then the last one would be, I don't know, more DLC or Island Delfino or something for Mario Odyssey.
Ooh, yeah.
Stuff like that. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm expecting.
I would love to go back
That's
to
my
Island
hope.
Delfino.
Andy.
Say what?
No, never mind. Doesn't matter.
Retty, we are discussing about E3 conference. Sadly, there's no surprises on E3 Direct. I mean, did I see ESO is going to Switch? Is it really going to Switch?
I don't know, because earlier I was kind of, I think my friend Bradley said that earlier, and I did not know if I caught that, so I don't know if that's a thing or not.
I mean, a Stitch.
If it does, that'd be great.
Elder Scrolls Online. If that's true, oh my gosh, that's pretty big. That's pretty big. But either way, so Nintendo's Tuesday. I expect her to be a surprise. I don't expect them just to do the Treehouse events and the tournament and Smash tournament and all that stuff. Someone says Breath of the Wild DLC. No, they've already confirmed that that's done with.
Yeah, they already
so
said
they're already done with Breath of the Wild. So there'll be no more Breath of the Wild DLC. They're already started on the next one, real mate. So no Breath of the Wild DLC for that one. So that ends our E3 talks, our E3 predictions here, or what we think is going to happen. Now I'm moving on to the anime talk, because I really want to talk about Black Clover and My Hero Academia. So if you have not seen the new episode of My Hero Academia, and you don't want it to be spoiled, then when we start talking about it, you probably should turn it off. That's just me. That's just me saying.
I guess this is the part where I step out.
But I do want to talk about this Black Clover, because Black Clover, I'm watching the dub right now. I am only 32 episodes in, and so far I was into it at first, but now I am annoyed with the show. Asta, I think is I like his character, but he's annoying when he yells. Nothing has happened in this anime so far. Like there has nothing as far as progressing the story. They haven't revealed anything. It seems like this show is just everywhere. Have you guys watched Black? Oh, it could be much like Super. They haven't revealed anything. Like, we see some bad guys here and there. We don't know who they are, what their names are, where they come from, why they're here. We've only got to see a little bit of the Diamond Kingdom. Like, I'm kind of mad about this anime. I can't lie right now. Will, how do you feel about this one, man?
I mean, I only saw and I'm sorry I couldn't catch all the way up to you.
You good?
But I only saw 10 or so I don't remember. But it's kind of like you said. I'm wondering what in the world that they're doing. Is this important? I always find myself asking that. Is this really important for the show to be covering or going over?
Dude, it's unreal, and it just kills me. It really does. It really does kill me. Like I said, I'm 32 episodes in, and I'm I was all into it. They showed some things. They had some conflicts, but other than that, nothing. nothing has happened, and it seems like the show has no direction, which is really annoying. And the crazy thing is, it's what is it, the top 3 shonen right now in Japan, I think, which is ridiculous. So I don't know. I was just thinking, I just want to get your guys' thoughts on Black Clover and what you thought, and do you think that it can be, I guess, quote unquote, saved in the future?
I kind of get a fairy tale vibe from it.
Don't say fairy tale. Don't say fairy tale.
Why does everyone? Okay. For me, I'm still very early in like fairy tale, so I might have a more lofty opinion on it.
Well, I couldn't watch Black Clover because I just couldn't deal with the
Asta yelling all day.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I was just no.
To answer your question about fairy tale, go ahead.
I don't know. I'll play the game, but that's it.
Oh, to answer your question about fairy tale, like people bash on fairy tale because there's just so much filler, and it's so cheesy, and like they conveniently get out of situations because of their friendships and all this stuff, and people just don't like that. And I mean, you can only deal with 270 episodes of that. Like, that's just ridiculous. Like, get to the point. And like you said, you're getting that sort of fairy tale vibe from Black Clover, which I'm kind of getting that too. But at least in fairy tale, there was a direction, and each season had a story and there's a direction. So far, there's no direction for Black Clover. Not one. And like he said, with Asta just yelling all the time, like, that's just no bueno at all.
Saying that some stuff wasn't being explained the other day, so I'm like,
nothing is explained. I don't know what episode you're on. Like, have you gotten to the part where they're where they start going to the dungeons? Have you been there yet?
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know how far you're into that, but there's a bunch of stuff that doesn't get explained in there, and they get out of there miraculously, and then there's a bunch of stuff later that doesn't get explained. They just don't explain a lot of things, and it's really annoying. We're 32 episodes in. I need more. I'm trying to get a hold of my buddy Bloody Knuckles because he's like 100% anime dude. But either way, have you guys caught up on My Hero? Because if not, I'm not gonna spoil it. What about
the thing is my. Oh, go ahead, Will.
I've caught up with it.
Okay.
I personally have not, so I'm gonna have to step out of the call for this one. But I will say I did not get a chance to continue My Hero just yet because dealing with work and then the channel, I just have not sat down to do it. I have a lot of games and anime I need to catch up on. So
the only reason I get to catch up on the anime is because I have an hour and 15-minute drive to work and from work, so I get to sit down in the car when I'm not driving and watch all the anime I want. At least 6 episodes. It's pretty awesome.
That sounds dangerous.
I mean, I'm not driving. I said when I'm not driving.
So at a stoplight?
No, we have a carpool, so when it's not my turn to drive, I'm just chilling. I'm just chilling, watching anime.
That's cool. All right, well, fair enough. I guess it was nice talking to all of you people here. I am gonna step out for this one so I don't get spoiled.
All right, man. So either way, we're moving on to My Hero Academia. Like I said, if you have not seen the new episode, don't watch it. Fair enough, right?
It's a good episode, yeah.
This episode, continuing off from the last episode, where finally, Bakugo was captured by the League of Villains. Bakugo was with the League of Villains. At that point, he was trying to escape. And then all of a sudden, All Might comes to the rescue. The heroes come to the rescue. They have an elaborate plan to get Bakugo, and it seems like they were going to get Bakugo. Yeah, Josh, so stop watching. It seems like they were going to get Bakugo, and then all of a sudden, that didn't happen. All For One shows up, and All For One gets Bakugo. He teleports Bakugo there, and then All Might ends up showing up, and they end up fighting. Bruh, this episode was really good. That's all I can say, dude. It was on some next level. The way they did it, the way that they got Bakugo out of there, bruh, everything about this episode was great. And now I cannot wait to see what happens in this next episode with this fight. What do you think about this one, dude?
Yeah, it was. Do you look at the dub?
Yeah, I watched the dub.
I heard the Vegeta come out of Chris Sabat.
Yes.
I was like,
yes.
oh my god.
Yes.
He's like, I won't let it continue. I was like, no.
Yeah,
like,
when he said that, yeah, for real. I heard the Vegeta come out of him too. I thought the plan was great from Midoriya and them to get Bakugo out. We're not really gonna go into much detail, but that just shows Midoriya's genius. Like, not only does he inherit One for All, but he has a mind that is great for tactical situations, and I believe that's what's gonna make him the greatest hero in the world at that point. Yeah, Stitch is right. That rescue was nuts. Like, the way he thought what to do, get him out. He knew that if I can't remember the rock guy's name, but he knew that the rock guy was one of Bakugo's good friends. If he said catch on, he would grab on. Like, he thought of every little detail ahead of time to get Bakugo out of there, and that was just awesome. And I thought, like, that just blew my mind, and that was probably the highlight of that episode. And then we get to the end where now All Might is fighting. I wasn't sure if it was happening or if he was just imagining it being pulled out at first, though. True, but apparently it happened and they got through. But here's my speculation: what's gonna happen to All Might moving forward? Because we saw All Might, he's pretty much to his limit, and then they kind of cut it off. He was at his limit. But it almost seemed like All for One kind of at this point knew that he was going to lose because he teleported the League of Villains out of there. He took Shigaraki, all of them, and sent them out because he knew something was going to go down. So moving forward, what do you think's gonna happen as far as this next episode? Because it almost seemed like the parallel is Shigaraki is going to be All for One's predecessor. Midoriya is going to be One for All's predecessor, All Might's predecessor. And it seemed like the objective for both of those two was to get those two out and protect those two. And it seems like they know that this is going to be the end for each other. Almost, it just seems like it the way they were kind of setting it up. Because All for One was like, well, the kids are out, Bakugo's gone, you're gonna have to fight me. And he started to gear up, and then All Might was like, okay, well, you're not going. You're not going in any means necessary. You're not getting away this time. Like, what do you think's gonna happen moving forward? Because it's about to get real.
Oh boy. First of all, I just gotta say I gotta avoid, because like everyone around me reads the manga except for like you and Andy.
So and me both.
I gotta avoid everyone I know because they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be good, man." I mean, I think it's like super interesting. Like you said, it's a great dichotomy there, mirrored. Like he's at one point, All Might is like, I'll save you, young Bakugo, and he's like, no, you won't, because I am here. Like that was like that sent shivers up my spine. That's crazy.
Right. Oh my gosh, like, dude,
that episode was so good. Oh man, but I don't know. Like, it's super interesting because you're used to like the big bad villain being like super powerful, but like All Might, like they're both weak now almost.
Yeah, you can see the weakness in All for One, because he showed it there because Shigaraki was like, you're not ready, you don't have your strength back. And then the same thing goes for All Might. His strength is weak. So like I'm really, I don't know what's gonna happen, because a few episodes before last season, All Might kind of foreshadowed that he was not going to be around to help Midoriya for much longer. I don't know what that means. Does that mean he's going to die, or does that mean he's going to use all of his power and he's just not going to be able to use All for One? Because from what I've heard, not spoiler alert, but somebody was talking about how All for One will eventually drain the current user. Eventually, that was what somebody had said to me. They were guessing it, and somebody was like, well, I read the manga, I can't tell you that, but you're kind of on the right direction. I was like, well, thank you very much for spoiling that for me. But like, I don't know what that means whenever All Might says he's not going to be there. And it almost seems like this fight is going to decide that in the future as far as what's going to happen. Because you saw him, he had already used the extent of his power. He was actually going back to normal, and that was it. They cut it out, which I hate when they do that. But But man, it just seems like something's about to go down, and I don't know what. And I can't predict what at this point. Will All Might die? Will he just lose his power and be normal? Like, what happens moving forward? It's just, Bro, this anime is like the greatest anime of all time. I'm sorry, I have to say it. It just is.
Man, I was gonna say that too. I was gonna
sorry.
say that.
I'm sorry, it already is. The way they're setting it up, it's not your normal anime. The way they're setting it up, this is about to be the next level one. But I mean, what do you think's gonna happen this next episode moving forward? Honestly,
I don't know. But real quick, because I remember like Dragon Ball Super ending, and like me not caring. Because I was like, oh yeah, well, My Hero Academia is like in a week, so I don't care.
Real
It
talk.
wasn't that good anyway.
Real talk. That's how it was.
But like the next episode, I don't know. Because like all for one, yeah, I almost said one for all. All for one, he's like really, really calm about it.
He is.
That kind of scares me. Like I hate when the big bad is just calm and like it's almost like he already had it planned out, like you said.
It seems like he's got a master plan, and Shigaraki's part of that big plan. It seems like he has a plan moving forward, and he is calm about it. But he also wasn't kind of calm because he had to get them out ASAP. So clearly, he didn't want something to happen because something was about to get foiled. So he got all the League of Villains out of there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, and he stayed behind. But yeah, it does seem like he has a plan, and Shigaraki is a big part of it. Seems like he's raising Shigaraki to be like the next dude.
And that's crazy.
I don't know what that plan is, though. I don't know.
Oh god. But yeah, like it's crazy because it's almost like you get Doria does the thing where he saves the day, and it's all about him and All Might usually. But here we sort of see like their perspective. Like he says, you put all my friends underground and you force them to go into hiding. And I think that's a very powerful element of My Hero Academia. It's not one-sided. Like it begins like one-sided, like, oh, all heroes are great, all heroes are good. But now we find out All Might have he might have a bad effect.
Have a bad dark past about it. Yeah.
Boy.
Well, you can tell that because they're trying because right now you can tell their plan is to make the heroes look bad and make society kind of turn on the heroes and make them realize that the heroes aren't all they're souped up to be, or all they mean to be. And it seems like that's part of the plan. And like you said, he said, you made all my friends go into hiding. I'll make you pay for that. I'm wondering what he means by that, like how that went, how that goes down. But dude, this show is just psychologically great. The storylines are great. Everything about this show is great, and I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be great. The reveal of the previous One for All holder was pretty crazy. Yeah, that was pretty crazy. We did get to see them. But I think they're actually, from what I heard, they're not gone either. They're still around. So maybe All Might will still be around, and maybe he just loses his power. Who knows? But I'm telling you right now, My Hero Academia is that next level anime. It is the best anime right now out there, and it will be, if it keeps going the way it's going, will be the best anime of all time. Better than One Piece, better than Naruto, better than Dragon Ball, better than all that. It will be moving forward.
Right. It's better than JoJo, because I guess I'm one of those losers that think JoJo is like really good.
I mean, it could be better than Full Metal Alchemist. I mean, Full Metal Alchemist is my all-time favorite, but it's fixing to be better than Full Metal Alchemist. Easy. But either way, that'll do it for the podcast. That'll do it for the anime talk. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for stopping by. Lieutenant Surge, thanks for being here. Andy already bounced out. Will, my dude, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate you a lot, man. Tell the people real quick, because I know Andy bounced out. Tell the people where they can find you, Twitter handle, all that stuff, what you got planned going on YouTube, because I know you're kind of more laid back on the YouTube aspect. So just let them know what you got.
I'm gonna do the E3 coverage, basically like everyone else. I'm just gonna do
right.
What I think in the aftermath. But yeah, you can find me Lilwillthediety on Twitter and here. Basically, I'm not really in many other places. I mean, I'm in your Discord, so you guys can talk to me there if you want.
True. Yeah, he is in the Discord, and I do have Andy and Lil Will. Both of their channels are linked in the description box, so check them out. Other than that, you guys have been great. Everybody stopping by. Nut stopped by. Stitch, thank you. Retzi, as always. Real Mate. Who else stopped by? Smash JT stopped by for a little bit. It was a pretty good podcast, man. I can't lie, especially for being so late. We were holding a constant 10-11 people. So I find this one successful. So I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Appreciate everybody for being by the podcast. Like I said, next podcast next Sunday. It'll be earlier. E3 will be done with. We won't have to do all this coverage. And we'll be back to normal. The Nindy showcase that I'm supposed to be putting out for Smoke and Sacrifice, I'm going to work on it this week. Like I said, once again, with all this E3 coverage, it's just been nuts, and I haven't exactly been able to just sit down and edit and work on it and do everything. So that's coming either this week or next Monday for sure. Promise you guys, and I'll continue that moving forward. So thank you guys so much. It's been awesome. You guys are the greatest. We'll see you guys later.